Would you cook your food in motor oil? That may sound extreme, but the truth is, many of today's popular seed oils started out as industrial lubricants. So, how did they end up in our food? What do they do to your body? And what should you be cooking with instead? In this video, I'll break down what seed oils are, why they're controversial, and some healthy alternatives. If you're a health-conscious adult preparing for retirement or already retired, it's not too late to improve your nutrition and health. If you want transparency, not confusion around nutrition and diet, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Lisa, registered dietitian and your guide here at Sagewell, where we talk straight about food, movement, mindset, and living well in the pre-retirement years. This is when you want to focus on your health and wellness. If you're looking to protect your health and your heart as you head into retirement, let's begin with the truth about seed oils. Seed oils are everywhere, from salad dressing to granola bars, and they're often labeled as heart healthy. But are they really hurting your health? You've been told canola oil is heart healthy, but what if I told you it could be fueling inflammation, weight gain, and chronic disease? And it's not just canola oil, it's all seed oils. So, what are seed oils? Seed oils don't come from olives or avocados, they come from hard, fibrous seeds, also called vegetable oils derived from industrial oils extracted from seeds like canola, also known as rapeseed, soybean, corn, cottonseed, sunflower, safflower, and grapeseed. To extract the oil, they undergo a high heat processing of 450 degrees or more. The use of chemical solvents are added, like hexene, a chemical compound used to extract oils from seeds, widely used as an industrial cleaner and degreaser. They also undergo a bleaching and deodorizing process to mask the smell. This intense process destroys beneficial nutrients, creates unstable molecules, and leads to oxidized compounds that promote chronic inflammation in the body. You'll find them in salad dressings, mayo, packaged snacks and chips, fast meals, fast food, and even so-called healthy protein bars, cereal, granola, and so many more foods. Why are they promoted as healthy? Decades ago, seed oils were marketed as a heart-healthy alternative to butter and animal fats, thanks to their high content of polyunsaturated fats, especially omega-6. The thinking was lower saturated fat would lower your cholesterol and better heart health. But that idea ignored the bigger picture. Here's the dark history of seed oils. Seed oils aren't traditional foods. They are industrial byproducts. Here's how it happened. In the late 1800s, cottonseed oil, a byproduct of the cotton industry, was used for candle wax and machine lubricant. Procter & Gamble needed a cheaper alternative to lard, and hydrogenated cottonseed oil became Crisco in 1911, marketed as modern-day fat. Around the World War II era, animal fats were rationed. Enter soybean oil, cheap, abundant, and easy to mass produce. The government promoted these oils as heart-healthy alternatives without fully understanding the long-term effects. And this is when Crisco shifted to a soybean and palm oil blend due to health concerns around trans fats. Crisco reformulated its product and marketed it as heart healthy. During the 1950s through the 70s, influential research blamed saturated fat for heart disease, shifting public policy and dietary guidelines toward polyunsaturated oils, especially omega-6 rich seed oils, which is a type of polyunsaturated fat. Omega-6 is essential and necessary for our health. However, we consume way too much, making it unhealthy because of the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. More on that ratio in a minute. By the 2000s, over 86% of added fats in the U.S. food supply came from seed oils like soybean, canola, and corn oil. All were heavily refined, oxidized, and found in nearly every packaged fast food item. The problem with seed oils? That ratio, omega-6 to omega-3. These are two types of healthy fats your body needs. They are also known as essential fatty acids, and they must be obtained from foods or supplements. They work best when eaten in a balanced amount, ideally 1 part omega-3 to 1 part omega-6, or close to it. Omega-6 aren't bad, but most of us overload them in our diet without even realizing it. A more balanced ratio might be 2 to 1. 2 omega-6 to 1 omega-3. The average American diet has a ratio of 20 to 1. Foods like salmon, tuna, walnut, flaxseed, and chia seeds contain omega-3 fatty acids, most likely not heavy in your diet. This imbalance promotes chronic inflammation, which is linked to heart disease, autoimmune conditions, type 2 diabetes, and mood disorders. These seed oils are unstable. When heated, think frying. They oxidize, forming compounds that damage cells. These oils are everywhere because they're cheap and shelf stable, meaning these foods can hang out on the grocery store shelf for a long time. Think chips, crackers, breads, and even plant-based milks, just to name a few. So, are seed oils really toxic? Well, to answer that, it depends on a few influences like how much do you eat of them, your overall diet and lifestyle, also your cooking habits. Small, occasional amounts aren't concerning. However, daily exposure, especially in high amounts, like the ones found in ultra-processed foods, can add up fast. Here are some better alternatives when cooking at home with more stable oils and the smoke points, the temperature at which the oil breaks down and becomes harmful. So your cooking method is just as important as the oil you use to cook or bake. First up, a healthy alternative is olive oil. Olive oil is anti-inflammatory, full of antioxidants. Antioxidants help protect your cells from damage caused by harmful molecules called free radicals. When shopping for olive oil, look for cold-pressed extra virgin, not light, because these are typically blends of other oils. You'll also want to look for a harvest date and best by date on the bottle. If you don't see this, it's probably not a high-quality olive oil. Harvest dates indicate when the olives were picked, and the best by dates will give you the peak quality, typically 18 to 24 months from the bottling date. Look for one in a dark glass bottle, not plastic, and store away from light and heat. Once it's opened, it's usually good for 3 to 6 months for optimal flavor and quality. So get your Sharpie out and date it once you open it. Another alternative is avocado oil. This oil is great for high heat cooking like grilling, stir fry, and searing. It also has a neutral taste. Coconut oil is another option, more stable when frying and good for baking and medium heat cooking like pancakes and simmering. Coconut oil can be unrefined, also known as virgin or extra virgin, usually made from fresh coconut meat extracted with a cold press method with minimal processing, no bleaching or deodorizing. The smoke point is lower, it's about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. It can also be sold as refined with a higher smoke point between 450 degrees Fahrenheit. However, you'll want to look for how it's processed. Refining can involve bleaching and deodorizing through heat and chemicals, so look for expeller pressed and chemical free. Butter or ghee is minimally processed, excellent for light sauteing and baking. Grass-fed sources are healthier choices. Ghee is clarified butter and preferred for high heat cooking and roasting. You'll want to avoid reusing any oil multiple times due to the increase in oxidation, which significantly increases after one use. I mentioned smoke point, and for those of you who don't know what that is, let me explain. The smoke point of any oil is the temperature at which the oil starts to burn and smoke when heated. When you heat oil past this point, it can release unpleasant smells and smoke. It starts to break down, which can make your food taste terrible. It may even create harmful compounds that over time will affect your health. For example, if an oil smoke point is 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 Celsius, and you heat it higher than that, it'll start to smoke and degrade. What happens when oil passes its smoke point? There's a breakdown of fats. The fats in the oil start to decompose and form harmful compounds like free radicals and acrolein, a toxic chemical that forms when fats or oils are overheated, especially past their smoke point, which causes that burnt smell. Think burnt popcorn. Formation of harmful substances include trans fats, which research has shown raises bad cholesterol, lowers good cholesterol, and increases the risk of heart disease. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, ruled in 2015 that artificial trans fats, partially hydrogenated oils, were not safe to eat, and gave food companies until 2018 to remove them from their products. Why? Because they were found to be harmful to heart health. And get this, trans fats were known to be unhealthy for over 20 years before they were officially removed from foods. So, how long do you think it'll take before seed oils are removed? If you don't want to wait around, it's probably best you remove them by not eating them, or at the very least, start to decrease your intake. It's projected that seed oils will generate $831 billion by 2030. So I don't think they're going away anytime soon. I'll link a chart on smoke points and recommended oils in the description and pinned comments if you're interested as a reference to download. Back to more potential health issues for smoke points, which includes toxic aldehydes, compounds linked to inflammation and cell damage, oxidative stress and inflammation, free radicals that can damage your cells and contribute to inflammation, which is linked to chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Also, digestive irritation. Some toxic compounds can irritate your stomach or gut. The potential for long-term damage increases if you repeatedly eat overheated oils. And it's not only ingestion that can impact your health. Inhaling the airborne chemicals can do some damage with long-term exposure. Here's how to make some serious changes. Swap out vegetable oil for avocado oil, choose olive oil for dressings, and look for a higher quality oil with a harvest date. Roast your veggies in ghee, not canola. Check the food labels. If you see soybean, canola, corn, or cottonseed listed in the ingredients, that's your red flag. If the seed oil is listed in the first 4 ingredients, you should probably look for something else. Ingredients are listed from most to least. If you're serious about protecting your brain, heart, and metabolism as you age, decrease the amount of seed oils you consume as best as you can and as soon as you can. Choose oils that are closer to nature and stable under heat, like the ones I mentioned earlier. Seed oils were never meant to be food or ingested. They are industrial byproducts turned into everyday cooking oils through clever marketing, not health science. But the good news, you don't need them in your diet. With some label reading and swapping out seed oils for healthier alternatives for your cooking and baking, you can start to decrease how much you consume. These small changes will have a substantial impact on your health. You don't need to panic or obsess. You just need to be aware of your options to boost your health and wellness. Your health is your most valuable asset. Protect it one meal at a time. If this helped clear up some confusion around seed oils, give it a like and share it with someone you know who's trying to get healthier too. And don't forget to subscribe to Sagewell for more honest, no fluff guidance on how to live as optimal as possible now and into retirement. Until next time, sage well.